In a previous video, I talked about Eternal Darkness' hidden 4th stat, Stamina. I started with it because it is the least known for all players. That said, the other 3 stats of the game are also full of detailed stuff a lot of people are unaware of. So I decided to make this class about Eternal Darkness stat mechanics. So let's start with the most basic one, health. Every time you get hit by something, your health goes down by the amount of damage that thing does. This includes enemies, traps, and some magical stuff, like barriers and electric floors. Oh, and don't forget the grenade launcher. You'll also receive half of sanity damage as health damage when enemies look at you, if your sanity stat is at exactly 0. There are 4 possible values for maximum health: 75, 100, 125, and 150. For reference, zombies deal between 5 and 13 damage, depending on their size and alignment. When you are low health, your character will start limping, which greatly reduces its movement speed. This happens at exactly 40 health and below, regardless of your maximum health, which puts characters with lower health at a big disadvantage. Health damage also interrupts spell casting. This is why spells can be cancelled when being seen by enemies at 0 sanity, as well as why you can't cast anything during poison traps on Lindsay. Health can be recovered via Chaturga and Mantorok spells. There's also 2 items in the game that can cast Chaturga recovery, which are Elia's necklace and Kareem's talisman. Magic. This stat allows you to cast spells. Every spell spends a specific amount of magic when casted, regardless of it being interrupted or not. If you don't have enough magic for a spell, the game will show you a no magic message. Uyad enemies do direct magic damage when they hit you, usually twice the amount of their health damage. There are 3 possible values for maximum magic: 75, 100, and 125. For reference, non-Mantorok 7-point shields cost 60 magic. Your character recovers magic naturally when moving, which includes walking, sneaking, running, and attacking. You don't recover magic during the getting hit animations. The recovery rate is 1 every 40 frames of movement for every character, except 1. Who? You're gonna have to watch my next video for that answer. While Uyal's recovery is a troll spell that recovers the same amount of magic it spends, you can use Uyal and Mantorok pools to eventually obtain more magic than what you used to cast them. There's only 1 item in the game that replenishes magic, Peter's Elixir, which always fills your magic bar to its maximum, ideal for his boss fight. Lastly, we have Sanity. This one is the main selling point of the game. The less sanity you have, the crazier your character becomes. In terms of mechanics, you get access to more sanity effects the lower your stat is. I'll eventually do a full video dedicated to explaining all the intricacies of sanity effects. For now, let's just talk about the stat. Your character receives sanity damage when encountering monsters through the game. Most enemies deal a fixed amount of sanity damage only the first time they see you, while others constantly drain your sanity. You'll also lose a huge amount of sanity when you see other people dying, either by mistake or because of bone thieves. Zelda enemies do direct sanity damage when they hit you, the same amount of their health damage. There are 3 possible values for maximum sanity: 75, 100, and 125. For reference, non-Mantorok zombies deal 10 sanity damage, while Zelda horrors deal 30 sanity damage. Every time Alex finishes a new chapter, she'll start the next mansion section with a little less sanity. This amount is actually fixed for every specific chapter, and will override whatever sanity you had prior to reading that chapter. You recover sanity each time you finish off an enemy, the same amount of sanity damage that opponent deals, except for gatekeepers, who give back 30 sanity. Zelda and Mantorok spells will heal this stat as well. The only item in the game that recovers sanity is Edward's Liquid Courage, which works as an instant Zelda 3-point recovery. There's also a couple of events that make you recover full sanity, like Elia's Mantorok cutscene, and when Edward kills the vampire. Yeah, without finishing it. In regards to stamina, I already covered it in another video, so you can go check that for details. But the important part is that stamina allows you to run and do combo attacks, and your character gets tired when their stat is low. It's also worth mentioning that you can recover all your stats in the Trapper dimension if you step into their respective rune circle. In the case of Chaturga, you'll get both health and stamina back. Let's talk about the game's stat display mechanics. Normally, stats only show up when they change, so when getting damage or recovering. In the case of pools, they keep being visible because of the slow increment of the spell. There's one exception to this. The game will make stats permanently visible if they're too low, specifically at 25% and below. In the case of health, you also start hearing a heart beating sound that will get faster and faster the lower your health goes. If you don't have low stats but you want to check them out, you can do it in the pause inventory. But this also has a couple exceptions. No stats will be shown to the player during the first Alex section. On Pious, you only get access to see your health if you get hit by an enemy, which triggers a health tutorial that makes it visible in the menu. Health becomes automatically visible after Pious, even if you never get the tutorial. A similar thing happens with Sanity on Elia, although this time there's no way to avoid the tutorial. But if you were to avoid it using hacks, then for the rest of the game your Sanity will only be visible when it changes in the overworld, but not in your inventory. Lastly, magic also has its own tutorial on Anthony, triggered with your first spell. There are ways to skip Anthony entirely with glitches, avoiding the magic tutorial. If we do this, then magic will be completely invisible, this time in both the overworld and your inventory. Forever. Now, how does the game keep track of your stats? Eternal uses signed 2-byte memory addresses for all stats. This makes sense considering stamina can get high values like 30,000. Now I know exactly what you're thinking. What happens when we have negative stats? For the most part, they just behave like if you have 0 of that stat, and it will instantly snap to that value as soon as you get either damage or any kind of recovery. This means getting no magic messages for negative magic, and instantly dying when getting damage with negative health. Sanity is much more interesting. The game camera is programmed to tilt based directly on the amount of sanity you have. This means you can get some pretty insane angles with negative sanity. Another weird consequence is that your character will have extreme seizures and model dislocations when walking close to certain objects. This is because the speed of your character reactions to the environment increases the lower your sanity is. Crazy stuff. I have one more fun fact before ending the video. Normally, you don't have access to the stat bars of summoned creatures. They do exist, but they are invisible in the overworld. You can actually see them in the inventory if you either hack or use glitches to pause without releasing the summon. As you can see, all creatures have 0 magic and 0 sanity. Take a look at this tiny Trapper health bar. That's why you always one-shot them. And let's appreciate the massive Chaturga Horror one. No wonder those things are so tanky. And that's it for the video. I hope your Eternal Darkness knowledge increased after watching it. This one serves as an introductory class for other videos I'm planning on doing. Stuff like character stat diversity, spell mechanics, and sanity effects. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you don't want to miss them. See ya.